Well, hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, 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 everybody. What is going on? Let me turn, I'm going, well, hello, praise the Lord. I am so excited to be hanging with you all on tonight for Transparent Tuesday. So I am really excited. Let me just say a quick word of prayer. God, I love you. I praise you. I honor you, oh God. It's because of you I live. I have my being, oh God, and I give you all the glory. Lord, let your will be done during this conversation, throughout this conversation. Your will be done, oh God. You get the glory. My ultimate goal is always to please you, oh God, and put a smile on your face. For this, I'll forever give your name the glory, honor, and praise. Thank God. Amen. So hello, everybody. I am so excited that you all are joining in with me. I see you all. Of course, this is my first time kind of going live this way, but I'm excited. And let me tell you the reason why I decided to go live. I get asked so often about my life, and the number one question, why are you so excited every time you sing? Where does all this energy come from? And oh my God, I get that a lot. And hello, everybody. I see you all coming in. Hello, hello. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And another question I get is, how am I able to be so transparent about my life, about my past? And the number one question a lot of people ask is, what was the process? What process did I take to get over my molestation so that I can share it with the world, and how I went about handling all that I've been through in my life? So without trying to give a whole life story, you got to get my hair out my face. Give my whole life story. I just thought I would just start coming on and talking to you guys, because I appreciate all of you all for, hey, Cuzzo, I appreciate you all for listening to my music, sharing my videos. As you all know, I am an independent artist, and everything that I do with the help of my team, my family, my friends, my loved ones. So I appreciate you all on that note. I love you all. Thank you for praying for me and everything. So with this transparency conversation, I wanted to go live so that I can talk to you guys on one-on-one. I do a lot of interviews and a lot of talking, and believe it or not, I love to talk, but I don't like to talk like that. I don't want to be all up in the camera. But anyway, where does all my excitement come from? Where's all this energy? Because if you know LeNasia, I love to do my thing. I love to have fun, especially when I'm giving God praise. And the main reason where and how and why I give God praise the way that I do is because of all that he's brought me through and all that he's brought me from. I have shared my story, my testimony of how I was molested at the age of 9 up until I was 12 by a family member. And I often, think about all that I've been through and what transpired and how it happened and the outcome. So in my mind, I just decided certain things I decided to do. I decided to be happy. I decided to not let my past dictate what my future was going to be. Did I do that by myself? Absolutely not. I had a lot of help, and my main backbone was my grandmother. Hey, Terry, I see you. Was my grandmother. So my grandmother, as you all know, when things happen in our lives, back in the day, a lot of people just swept things under the rug. They didn't talk about it, and they wanted you to be quiet about it. Don't tell nobody, because it's all about holding the family name or making sure that we are always portrayed this perfect people in the eyes of everybody else. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I get tired of trying to live my life to please other people. I'm like, well, wait a minute. All of these things that I've been through in my life happened to me. It didn't happen to them on behalf of me or me on behalf of nobody else. So I decided to live my life the way I wanted to live. And what my grandmother did, instead of sweeping things under the rug, she literally talked to me. She talked to me. She answered all of my questions. She helped me understand why, because when things happen, certain things happen to us in our life, we the first thing we say is, why does this have to happen to me? Why me? And from a very early age, even before this happened, I can remember my grandmother always saying to me, LeNasia, you're special. You're different. You're not like other people. You don't think like other little kids, so you don't act like other little kids. And I need you to be okay with that. I mean, these are things that my grandmother would say to me. I need you to be okay with being different. And it wasn't until I was grown when I realized, like, man, I am different. I don't think like other people. I don't act like other people. So why I got to give God praise the way everybody else give God praise? Why can't I do it my way? Why can't I sing my way? And with that life, things just started happening. I see you. Yes, you can ask your questions. I will get to your questions. Yes. Yes, Lucille Scott. That was my grandmother. God rest her soul. She helped me with a lot. But the most important thing that I feel now that I'm grown that she could have done for me was share some of her experiences with me. So to help me understand and to help me channel the anger and the hurt and everything that I was feeling, she started explaining situations that she was in and literally telling me how she dealt with them and how she was able to bring it, come out of it. So in my opportunity to share my story, the first people I started sharing with, of course, are my own children. Y'all know I got a son. My son is 22, he'll be 23. And one thing about him and my other son, who I call my son, but he's my nephew, CJ, I try to explain to them the basic fundamentals of the lifestyle and the choices that I make or that they make that will dictate their future. And I shared with them how my virginity was taken away. So I didn't have that experienced opportunity to share my share my life and my body with whom I wanted to share it with. That opportunity was taken, right? So I had to get it together and explain to them that when they decide and find that female, I won't say woman, but they're young, find the female that you would do that. I need you to cherish it. I need you to treat her as if you are handling a delicate, like your sister, or, think of how you would want your family members or your sister or your mom to be treated. So to make sure that they don't, not saying that they won't be players, that's teenage boy stuff. But I had the opportunity to teach them that. And then, of course, as you all know, I have two beautiful little girls. So I had the opportunity to teach them the do's and the don'ts, the things that back in the day, some people, parents shared, I don't know. But my grandmother always did share certain things about sitting on men's lap and being around, looking for the signs and how men, and it's not just men nowadays, we have to deal with that from both sides now, right? That's the world we live in. So at the end of the day, I have an opportunity to teach them how to handle it, how to handle men. You ever see a beautiful woman who you can just say to her, I never forget when my cousin was walking down the street in New York, and my cousin looked at this lady and he told her, sweetheart, you are so beautiful. And she turned around and looked at him, was like, ugh, and just gave him so much attitude. And all he did was compliment her. He was just letting her know that she was beautiful. And her attitude just turned it around and made her look so ugly, right? So I told her, I tell my daughters, just because you're beautiful and just because you may look a certain way or whatever, I need you all to be sweet and kind and polite. Period. That's not because you're beautiful, but that's period, right? That's what we're supposed to do. Period. Be kind to one another. So yes, where all my excitement come from? My excitement just comes from knowing that God allowed me to live through everything that I lived through. It could have went a different way. During my molestation, I could have contracted a whole bunch of sexual transmitted diseases. And one thing that the doctor did tell me that my girls, that I would not have children because I was so damaged And so as the doctor is telling me that, I'm feeling, I'm young. I'm like, I don't even understand really the magnitude of what was being said to me. But what my grandmother did is she taught me my first hymn. My first hymn she taught me was "Because Jesus Lives, I Can Face Tomorrow." And she broke that thing down. And yes, that is my favorite hymn. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. And I think about that a lot. Like, Jesus lives, so I can deal with this situation. I can deal with this circumstance that I'm in, right? So I'm just excited every chance that I get to give God praise. I'm excited about it. I just want to share with the world that, number one, my relationship with God is not boring. I have a ton of fun. Everywhere I go, I have fun. All my friends, we kick it, we talk, real talk. I see y'all, hey everybody, and we talk and we have fun. And I do that because I want to say I say this all the time. I am drama free. You know how some people just have drama in their life, or they try to get rid of the drama, but it's just people that come into their life, they just full of drama. Well, I don't experience that. I did get married early, at an early age. At the age of 19, I got married, me and my ex-husband. We didn't really know nothing. We didn't even know our own selves, So that was a learning experience. Do I regret it? Absolutely not, because it made me who I am today. And with that, I was blessed with not one, but 3 beautiful children. This was after the doctor was telling me I wasn't going to have kids. But I'm saying that to say, I didn't limit God, and I didn't allow my experience with that one man to dictate how I was going to treat the rest of the men in my life. I have some wonderful men in my life. My dad, my brothers. I got a ton of brothers. I got a lot of brothers. And if you ever heard me tell the story about my song, Like My Daddy, I wrote that song for all the positive men in my life, because I don't know, it's not every conversation, but a lot of conversations I would listen, and it's always, my baby daddy did this and he didn't do this and he didn't do that. And let me tell you what he did do though. He did. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I have had bad experiences with men, but not to the point where I feel like I need to take it out on every man. So with my grandmother explaining to me the characteristics of men and the characteristics of women, how we all think differently, and how we think certain things, we think the same as a woman and as a man. But when she began to share her stories with me, share her testimonies with me, explain to me what she did to make it through, and how every morning she woke up, she read her daily scripture, she did her daily affirmations, and she made the decision to, I'm getting instructions. She made the decision to live her life and be happy about it. Like, I decided today when I wake up, I'm going to have a good day, So I'm really excited about that. My next question, how are you able to be so transparent? Okay, well, I just kind of answered that. Because my grandmother was so transparent with me in regards to her life and her experiences, and it brought me through, I said, hey, why not? And then I messed around, y'all. I messed around and got saved. Hallelujah. I messed around and got saved. And Pastor Tyson was, that's my daddy in love. And he was up talking, and he was talking about, he was trying to explain to us how we can't serve 2 masters, right, at the same time. He was coming from Matthew 6 and 24, where it says you can't serve 2 masters, right? Either you're gonna love God and hate the devil, and you can't straddle the fence. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, what is he talking about? Like, certain things you can't do. Like, the Bible don't say thou shalt not smoke, right? I used to smoke a pack of cigarettes almost a day, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? You either love God. Just because I do this and I do that don't mean I don't love God. Well, when he explained that God can't dwell in the unclean body, your temple, your body is your temple. And I was like, what? So it's not that the Bible gonna say thou shalt not smoke and thou shalt not drink. It's just the things that we do that defiles our body. God can't dwell in an unclean temple. And so yeah, I had to, I'm seeing the questions coming up. So did I seek counseling? No, I did not go to a professional counselor because my grandmother literally did. Now, I can't recall what her best friend was saying to her on the other phone, on the other line, but I stood there and I was listening to my grandmother's conversation. Yes, I was eavesdropping, and I was listening to her conversation, and she was, crying about the situation, how it took place, and what had all just been shared. Hey, my virginity, I was molested, my family member was in jail, and I guess it was a lot on her, and she was crying to her best friend, and I'm just assuming her best friend said, are you going to take her to counseling? And she said, no, me and Jesus are going to counsel her, and I'm going to explain, I'm going to teach my baby everything she needs to know. I do remember that. And she did just that. So no, I did not seek professional counseling. My grandmother definitely was my counselor. And when I tell you, she explained everything. She explained to me the changes that my body was going to go through, which they did go through a lot. And we can definitely have another conversation, and I'll share my story with you guys on actually how it happened and all that I experienced and everything at a later time, because that's a whole conversation in itself. But yes, I'm looking at the questions. I see. Hey, everybody. Hey, Sister Darla. So listen, my last question that I get a lot was, what was the process that I take to get over my molestation? And I think I kind of just hit on that a little bit. I talked about it. I talked about it. Not to everybody, but I talked about it with my grandmother and with my cousin and whomever else wanted to talk about it, because it's not that we broadcasted it, but we didn't hide it. And it's not that I'm ashamed of it, because I have nothing to be ashamed of. And it took me a minute to realize that. But the most powerful thing was the conversation that my grandmother and I shared, and the fact that she didn't hide anything. She didn't say, no, we can't talk about that, baby, because that's a tough situation for me. She didn't do that. She opened up. And I kind of pride myself on having that type of relationship with my own children. We talk about everything. There's nothing that me and my kids don't talk about, to be honest, because if I don't tell them the truth and if I don't talk to them, they're going to find out from somebody else, and their version is not going to probably be out of love like it would from me. So yes, that's how I made it through all that I went through. And yes, I did a lot of things coming from that molestation, coming from being abused every night. And it happened from the age of 9 up until I was 12. And so, yeah, it was a hurtful thing. So after it all ended, my body went through a lot of changes. A lot of things was happening that I really didn't understand. But as you all know, the title of my album, or for those who don't know, the title of my album is Dare to Praise Different. And every single song on that album has a very strong testimony as to what I experienced and how I overcame it. Okay. So when I was in high school, I met this young boy who could really, really sing, and he sounded really good. He was like the perfect mimic of Wanye from Boys to Men, right? So he did all of those riff and runs, and I liked him so much, and I got into so much trouble following behind that boy. I got in a lot of trouble following up behind him, did a lot of dumb things, hung out with the gangbangers. I got shot at, standing on a corner, trying to be in his face because he could sing, okay? So I did a lot of crazy things, trying to compensate for that loss, for that empty space where I felt like I was just abused, like I was hurting and I didn't understand why I was going through it, why it had to happen to me. But one thing that my grandmother said to me when I was younger and has always instilled in me until I left and went away to college: LeNasia, you're different. You're special. You're not like other people. You don't think like other people. You don't even respond like other people. And it wasn't, it was years later. I mean, I'm super grown till I realized that it was okay to be different. So I tell my kids, it's okay to be different. You don't have to do what everybody else do. And so that's where the title of Dare to Praise Different came from. I just choose to be different, right? I just choose to do things my way. Listen, oh my goodness, it's a lot. I'm trying not to be all over the place, okay? But I see y'all. Hello, everybody that's tuning in. I really appreciate you all. So yes, y'all can, well, we'll have no more questions. Okay. Well, yeah, so my favorite scripture. This is crazy. I was just telling my son this yesterday, but my favorite scripture is 1 Corinthians 10:13. There is no temptation that is such common to man, but God is faithful, will not allow you to be tempted above what ye are able. But with that temptation, he will make a way of escape. I can't tell you how many times I had to recite that to myself over and over and over again. And I would pray. Like my kids, when I was teaching them how to pray, I would teach them the Lord's Prayer. And then I would teach them that you got to talk to God for yourself. Like when you in the room, just you got to talk to him as if he was sitting next to you. And I had numerous of conversations where I would say, Lord, why I got to go through this? And why I would have to go through that? And he would simply answer me with a simple question, with a simple response, and say, stronger. I just need you to be stronger. Well, how strong do I have to be? Stronger. You just have to be stronger, right? So it's challenging. It's really challenging, but I understand that throughout my life, that everything that I've been through, he just wants me to be stronger. Maybe stronger so I can teach my children, maybe stronger just so I can share my testimony, or just stronger because that's who God was. He was strong, right? Jesus, he was strong to go through all that he went through. So that's what I do. Now I'm definitely, you have any more questions? Hey, Netta. So, yep. So I have to, I guess I will share with you all my great news. Yay! So we are about to release the Praise Party video. And I am really excited about it because we had a blast making it. And I want to thank everybody anyway who got on here and who registered to be in the video. I know the weather didn't act right with us, but it actually turned out really, really well. And I can't wait to share that with you all. So I'll tell you a little bit about some other stuff we got coming up. And I know it was really fun. I wished everybody could still have come, but it is what it is. I love you guys. I appreciate you. So no, go ahead, ask your questions. Yeah, this is my new hair. Yeah, I like my new hair. So am I working on a new album? Well, I am. And I'm taking my sweet time because, as I stated in the beginning, I am an independent artist. So I have to do everything in moderation, But yes, I am working on new music. Every day something happens to me in my life that I want to share with the world. As a songwriter, that's what it's pretty much about. For me, it's not about just getting my music heard, but it's sharing the message that I carry in my music. And I share the message. I want people to know how good God is, how much he's done for me in my life, but most importantly for you, everything he's done for me, he can do for you. I see the question, when did you know you wanted to sing and professionally? Well, I would say at the earliest memory I have of singing is at the age of 5. My grandmother, rest her soul, was definitely a singer. And if you knew my grandmother, I would say today she was very theatrical and very engaging. And I would ask her, Grandma, when you sing, why do you be so happy and everything? And she would say to me, well, baby, I got to give it to the people how God gave it to me. So instead of just saying, oh, it's in my heart, so glad it's in my heart, she would say, oh, it's in my heart, I'm so glad. That's a difference. I'm so glad it's in my heart. Now that's my grandma. So, and then she would make people feel so good and encouraged. And I wanted that. I wanted to make people feel good. Now I have to give my props up to the first person who hired me as a professional background singer was the one and only, the beautiful Miss Kim McFarland. Yes, we all know Kim McFarland. It's in I'll give you peace. Yes. So that's my earliest memory, is when I was 5. I walked up next to my grandmother and I stood there and she gave me the mic and I sang a little bit of His Eyes on the Sparrow with my grandmother. And my first professional job singing was with Kim McFarland. And when did I know that I wanted to be a professional singer? Well, I knew I wanted to be an artist when God was giving me all of these songs. Now, for those who don't know, I do have a CD out that was released in 2004. And we released that CD. It was that CD was made off of a promise. And although I have 15 songs on there, I wrote all 15 songs. And those songs were awesome. But my very first song, gospel, and I'm gonna talk about that, was First in My Life. And that song, that's when I had just gave my life over to the Lord. I received the Lord into my heart and I realized I wanted to be saved. I didn't want to do the things I used to do anymore, because I used to get high all the time. I used to drink and get drunk all the time. And I think a lot of that was acting out of hurt, fear, boredom, sometimes hanging around with the wrong people. And but one thing God has always blessed me to do is write songs. So in high school, there was a set of twins, Tish and Toya, and we were called the Lovely Girls. And we won a few talent shows. And but our harmony is what drew people and won the hearts of our peers at high school. But I wrote my first song entitled Lovely Girls, and we sang that song. It was like our little theme song. But my very first song that I wrote after giving my life over to God was First in My Life. And I am planning on reintroducing some of that music from my first CD. It is called A New Relationship. And that was about me finding God, finding myself, understanding the gift that God put inside of me. Because at that time, I was still growing, trying to understand not only myself, but my situation, who I am. Why do I do the things that I do? And I don't know about you, but if you ever have a time where you just sit and wondering why things happen to you, or, why am I going through this? And then you start realizing, like, why does stuff keep happening to me? Or why do I keep attracting these certain people? Or why do these people want to be in my life? And then you start learning yourself. So that kind of happened to me, And so I just, again, I wanted to come on and just be transparent about a lot of things. My past, I don't hide it. It is some other questions that some people ask, but I think we'll talk about that at a later date. Do I have BG? I do have background singers. I do. I work with my brothers. Pretty much are my producer, and I won't lie to y'all. I'm spoiled. I am spoiled when it comes to my music. Um, my brothers is who helped me produce my CD, Dare to Praise Different. And normally when I get invited out to sing and they want me to bring my band and singers, I just call my brother Curtis Lindsay and I say, Curtis, I got this date and this is what I need, a three-piece band, four-piece band and 3 singers. And he kind of handles all of that on my behalf. Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate you. But yes, so I've worked with a lot of different background singers, but my vocal producer, which is none other than Brother Gus Lacey, you know, he and Curtis kind of handles that. So thank you, Marquise, for that question. And Arnetta, thank you. Oh, absolutely. Grandma definitely had that famous bounce she did. And my mom tells me now that, girl, when you at that singing, you sure look just like your grandma. So that's a good thing for me. So you have any questions? Yes. So again, thank you all so much. I'm not going to hold you all. If you don't have any more questions. Look, I'm looking, y'all. I'm looking. This is hello to everyone that stopped in. Thank you all so much. So yeah. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I will save the next questions for another time. And if there are no more questions, I want to thank you all. Thank you for this time. Thank you for listening to me. And thank you to all my radio personalities who throughout the interviews, we have a lot of fun. A lot of fun allowing me to share my story and chit chat with you all. So if there are no more questions on today's 3 topics, I will see you all another time. Thank you all so much and be blessed.